I like to do is help people understand what are the physiological processes and separate that from the story that we put on them.
I love that. So what it reminds me of is what I've been talking about recently is eating for the body versus eating for the mind. And what I've been saying, because for me, food is a source of comfort. And I absolutely raise my hand and say that food, specifically fried carbohydrates, are one of my favorite sources of comfort. And this is not new to me, but what I've really started to tap into is the difference between the two. When I'm eating for the body, which I would call like a real hunger, like a natural or organic hunger, the body saying, hey, I need more fuel. Then afterwards, it feels satisfying. I may even feel really energized. I feel like fulfilled. It's a sense of like, oh, that was enough. I'm not hungry. I had exactly the amount that I need. I'm not overstuffed or overfull. And now I can get back to doing the things that I was doing before the hunger came in. If I'm eating for the mind, almost every single time after I eat it, there's a sense of disappointment. There's a sense of heaviness. There's a letdown. It's the crash. It's the, oh, that wasn't what I really wanted. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah, I would say that completely falls in that category. And one of the practices I offer is that we can slow things down and make it more conscious of what is my body feeling now before I eat. Okay, I think I need some food. Um, I eat something, and how do I feel now? So, really being aware of the entire process and stripping away the story about what it means.
Love that.
That over time, that is what I call the learning of the body language. And your body language may be different than my body language. And I also see that over time, body language can change. So one week I might be able to or desire lots of strawberries, and the next week I might not. So by paying close attention to the actual sensations in the body won't lie. It'll give you the objective information about what it needs and what you need to change. It's my interpretation that can be the pivot into better health.
Yeah. Yeah, because the body doesn't lie. The body, I don't think the body even can lie. I
Yeah.
think we just misinterpret what it's saying, and the body is there for everything. I think that's the other piece is that we can mentally check out, but the body will still be recording what's happening. So if you want to know, I would say probably the undeniable source of truth, like a source of truth that can't lie, would be the body.
Yeah,
And
I
so
would agree with
it's
that.
just a matter of misinterpretation, then, would you say? If
I
we're
would. And yeah, and I think that when you mentioned eating for comfort, sometimes we do things with our body, to our body, that are for emotional reasons, that maybe even are for spiritual reasons. Um, and the body will let you know if this is in congruence or not in alignment. And you will know usually pretty quickly how that is going to play out for you. And in my life, for example, from the minds, from my desires in life, I was really pushing for my career. And I was doing it at the expense of my body. And you'll hear that from a lot of um, type A, high profile people. And eventually my body was yelling at me in its own signals. And it wasn't until I finally said, okay, I don't know what you're saying, body, but I know you're telling me something, and I need to learn this language. And it's really been a blessing over the years, but it's been a challenge to understand my own body language.
But I think the one of the most important things that people can begin to, I think, just tap into is that the body wants what you want, right? The body is not out to get you. The body is not an adversary. The way that I see it is, we can say, let's just say for argument's sake, there's approximately 30 trillion cells in a human body or a full-size adult human body. And that I see every single one of those cells as an individual unit of consciousness. So you essentially have 30 trillion beings who have agreed to forego an individual experience and to have a collective experience called your body. So you are surrounded literally by 30 trillion beings who want nothing more than for you to thrive, for you to be healthy, for you to succeed, for you to live as long as you possibly can in this vessel in a way that's healthy and feels good, and you're thriving, not just surviving. So the body wants what you want. It just has a different way of getting it, right? I often think of gym class and the kid that was huffing and puffing and kind of the last kid across the finish line. Well, the body is not, I don't want to make the body out to be this helpless thing, but it is a little slower. The body has density. It has a whole bunch of systems to take into consideration. It's not as simple as just deciding to cut your fingernails, right? Like there's a whole lot of stuff that has to happen. So I think for people to understand that, and I speak from someone who had chronic pain for almost a decade, the body wants what you want. It is not trying to punish you. It is not out to get you. It is simply doing everything it can to get your attention.
Yeah.
It just needs you to take care of it, right? You are
Yeah.
not the body, but you are responsible for the body.
Yes.